Wazd is back. No, Wazd is not back. I don't know. With Portland office, things are on fire. Not even a thing. I'm just kidding. It's totally cool. Somebody had written in and asked for an Overwatch review. And Overwatch is the new game from Blizzard that's kind of like Team Fortress 2. It's sort of an interesting take on a Team Fortress 2 type concept, or a Team Fortress type concept, I should say. And I'm decidedly not a gamer at all. So I've enlisted the help of some professionals. I've got with me Krista and Grizzle, who are going to help us.
And we're here at the, this is a custom game set up with some bots so you guys can see some of the gameplay and how it works.
And so we don't have to ruin everybody's experience while we're talking and not playing.
Yeah, this game can get you pretty salty, but it is a ton of fun.
Says the person who is level 118.
I might have a problem, guys.
I'm like level 40, so we've got quite a few miles on this thing at this point. So this is the character selection screen, and there's, it's got way more characters than Team Fortress 2. I only mention that because, each one of these characters kind of has their own backstory, but there's a lot of different kinds of characters that you can play depending on what your play style is. Now they're grouped, and it's giving us little condescending tips here, like we don't have a builder and we don't have a sniper and that sort of thing. If you're really interested in the characters, you should go look at Blizzard, because Blizzard has come up with these elaborate backstories for all of these characters.
And they're all pretty interesting, except, of course, for Lucio. Which, it seems like there was a focus group of social justice warriors, and then whatever was left behind, they scraped their slime off the floor, and that became Lucio.
He's a fun character to play, though.
But if you have self-respect, you won't. You will never play that character.
Nice. Now, his special ability is that he can make everybody have like a zillion health for like 10 seconds, right?
Yeah. So all the characters have, they all have different abilities that are bound to different keys, but the one that you want is the more kills and stuff you get an ultimate ability, and that can really change the tide of the game.
I'm going to play the robot, of course. And so this is prepare the defenses, defend the point?
Yes, this is a defend the point map. There's also payload escort missions.
Pretty standard class-based shooter game modes. There's a pretty decent amount of maps too. How many maps are there in total?
I think there's like 10, 15.
And some maps are mirrors, so you will play from the attack direction, and then you'll immediately play from the defend direction, in a round type thing. So the overall score, you have to win 2 out of 3. Which is nice, because of the defender's advantage.
The robot that I'm playing has 2 different modes that you can toggle between using shift. So I'm in turret mode right now, which means I can't move, but I can deal an insane amount of damage because I've got the minigun up front.
In this game, instead of giving you a variety of weapons, most of the characters only have 1 or maybe 2, but they give you these special abilities in order to make you more versatile.
And you can change your hero, mid-game too, which is a nice mechanic.
Yeah, the hero composition is a big part of the game. You can't just stick to one hero and get good at one, because the other team could do something that just totally shuts you down. You have to be a little bit versatile at least.
So like right now, somebody got their special alt, which kind of gives me wall hack, and so I can kind of see some character outlines on the screen for wall hack.
Yeah, there's a lot of synergy. It definitely encourages you to play as a team. Going off on your own and being a 360 no-scope warrior is not all that valuable in this game. Which is nice if you're a filthy casual like us.
We really are filthy casuals. I mean, this is like, we're not super gamers at all. And this game is kind of a lot of fun. Like, I've actually, I've played up to like level 46. Good lord, Krista, you're level 118. Crystal, what are you?
Does it tell me somewhere? I think I'm like in the 40s.
It does. You're a level 33, it says.
It also sort of caters to the casual in terms of the way that it scores things. So you can see when we kill somebody, it says elimination. But it's not just last hit. Everybody who touched that character gets credit for that elimination.
Oh, it turns out I'm level 25. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah, if you hold tab, you can.
That's right. We're professionals, not professional gamers.
Oh yeah, the tab screen.
What's the tab key?
But if you want to feel good about yourself, and you never manage to get a kill shot, this game will still give you credit. And it'll still give you credit for streaks, even if you're not the last hit.
I think that's a really good choice, personally, to like make it so it makes it more team-based when you can see like, oh, you know, I helped someone, I got a kill assist. Even if you're a healer class, if you're damage boosting someone and they get a kill, it'll tell you like, hey, you helped this person.
Definitely is team-oriented in all things. You know, we've got a lot of experience with this game under our belt. Let's talk a little bit about matchmaking while the enemy team pummels us.
Yeah, right now we're playing bots, but in our experience, especially when we play as a full group of 6 players, grouped together, the matchmaking is really good, and the reason we know that is because we win about 50% of the games.
Yeah, a theoretically perfect algorithm would be 50% of the time. You can either win or lose 50% of the time. If you win or lose, that works really well. And that's a contrast to other games like this that we've played, where it has been decidedly not 50%. We're either dominating or losing constantly.
We're looking at you, Battleborn.
Yeah, we play, you know, Battleborn is the other game that this game reminds me of. We were playing Battleborn before Overwatch came out, and I like Battleborn the game, but the matchmaking mechanic in it at the time we were playing, I thought was awful.
I should also mention that's not even the ladder. That's just the casual play. So even the casual play tends to put us up against reasonably well-matched teams. And it does so fairly quickly. It usually takes
Overwatch, right?
Yeah, in Overwatch. It usually takes like 3 minutes at most to get a game.
That's
with
on
all
the high
6.
end. Yeah.
It definitely seems to take the more people you have in your group, which makes sense because internal communication can be a big thing.
Oh, you can also skirmish when you're waiting as well. That's something else that we haven't gone over.
Yeah, during your wait time for a match, skirmish is nice. That's a good time to pick the aim-based players so you can practice your aim if you otherwise suck at those like we do, or at least like I do.
Yeah. So you're not stuck waiting on a screen trying to find a match. You can actually play with, you know, your team and the other team, the people that have shown up, in just kind of a skirmish, which is a really nice mechanic.
It's kind of like a deathmatch, which is how some people play anyway.
And you just saw the superlative cards. So at the end of your match, unlike a lot of shooters, you're not going to see your overall kills, like who had the best kill death or anything like that. Instead, it awards these superlative cards based on impressive things you did during the match. And that's kind of fun because even if you're not the best player, you could very well get a card. And then there's a voting system, so that if the other players thought you did well, unlike, you know, the AI picks the card, but then the other players can vote on who actually did the best among those cards.
And usually there's a pretty good mix of players between both teams, because it's certainly been the case that we've been playing and the opposing team's healer or the opposing team's tank or whatever was just doing an unbelievable job, and then they got a card at the end, and it's like, you know what? Yeah, they did really good. I'm going to give them, you know, a vote up on that superlative.
Usually, though, out of spite, you won't vote for the other team.
Absolutely not. So the other team's cards are always red, and I almost never upvote a red card.
Oh, you guys.
There are some interesting ways to game the card system, though. So, for example, as your Reinhardt character who has a shield and your Bastion character, if those two are playing opposed to each other, the Bastion can just soak damage into the shield, and they'll both end up getting a ton of credit, even though no one's actually dying and nothing's actually happening from that.
So the playing that we've been doing mainly has been non-ranked play. I don't think any of us have done any ranked play, have we?
No,
it's only been around for about a week, yeah.
And the non-ranked play has definitely been a very satisfying experience.
I'm a little afraid to do competitive because I feel like it's going to really shatter the illusion that I'm good.
So like I said at the beginning, I'm not a gamer, and there was once upon a time I did own an Xbox One. I got a headset for it and I played online, and that was a that was such a terrible experience that after a few weeks of trying to find reasonable people to play with, I just took the whole thing and threw it in the trash because it doesn't. Well, I didn't throw it in the trash. Let's be honest here. I converted the Xbox One into a multimedia box, but that's a story for another time. So I'm going to ask you guys what you think about the community and what Blizzard has done with like how they set up the game and the paid components of it and the pricing, and then I'll tell you what I think.
But you realize you're so dated. You say Xbox One, you mean the original Xbox, but there is an Xbox One now, right?
Oh yeah, there is an Xbox
yeah.
One that just came out. I meant the Pentium 733 Xbox, the original Xbox.
In the days before days.
In the days before the Xbox 360. Man, Xbox Live, I mean, it was just a cesspool. So I imagine it still is a cesspool. Well, and that hasn't been my experience so far, but you know, what do you guys think? You guys have played more than I have.
The community, you usually get a pretty decent team. The one exception that I've found are the people who like to talk a lot, the people who want a quarterback and tell you which character to pick and where to go, and it's like, I'm the captain. But the great thing about it is Blizzard has given you plenty of options for muting certain people or just doing group chat and having different chat channels, even if you don't have your own, you know, TeamSpeak or whatever.
Yeah, the built-in voice chat in this game, I have to say, is pretty good, I think.
One thing I like about the game as well is that it's not particularly toxic. There's sometimes you run into games, you know, where people get pretty serious, and this game can be fairly serious even in quick public play. You know, but people will always say GG at the end of the match. They'll say, you know, good luck, have fun at the beginning. And I feel like it's generally a more mature crowd. Like, it's not, you know, just people trying to be assholes the whole time.
Do you think anybody ever really means good luck? I don't think they do.
I do.
Well, it's definitely not Xbox Live levels of toxicity, so that's something. And part of that might be the superlative mechanic that we were looking at before, because, like, if you do play like an asshole, you know, maybe you're going to be punished for that.
Yeah, you can actually. This game has a really good banning system. If you get flagged as being toxic too many times by too many members of the community, you will get banned for life, I think, or at least for a season.
I've never seen that happen.
I haven't either yet, but I've heard it's happened. They introduced an avoiding mechanic where you can like avoid certain players if they're really bad, but I think they're removing that in the new patch, so don't quote me on that right now.
Well, it's not pay to win, but there is a funny money system. And no matter how ubiquitous that becomes, I don't think there's any place for it in the gaming industry. It's not something we should accept. And you could say, well, it doesn't affect the game, it's only cosmetic. But that's sort of like praising your cat when it vomits on the hardwood instead of the carpet. Now, it shouldn't be eating the squirrels in the first place. There's no place for it. And we shouldn't tolerate it. But it is only cosmetic, so it won't affect your gameplay at all.
You're not a fan of Gaben's hats either, are you?
No. There should be no funny money.
Yeah, this is definitely Blizzard's way of trying to capitalize on the thing. It's like, not only can we do hats, we can do everything. There's actually a lot of different things you can customize on this. There's a voice line, there's skins, there's sprays, just like Valve. And so, like, you can hold C, and you've got, you know, these built-in emotes like thank you and hello and need healing.
But the loot boxes, the way that you get all of these things is through the loot box system. And that's where if you want to pay real money, you can buy more boxes. And it is pretty disappointing what you get from a loot box. Most of the time, everybody wants the skins. The skins are the precious. But you're always going to get voice lines and sprays, and it's kind of disappointing. There's a lot of grinding if you want to get the cool skins.
But you get money for playing matches as well, like funny money, and then you can use those to buy the ones you want. So I don't think it's that frustrating.
You're always going to feel second rate if you don't have the sexy Widowmaker skin.
And let's face it, there's a lot of waifu bait in this game. A lot of very sexual skins.
You heard it here first on Tech Syndicate.
Waifu bait.
I don't think we were the first to notice.
Yeah, I don't think we were either.
I think the internet has definitely focused in on the sexiness of these characters.
So what's your final score for this game? What do you think it's worth? How much would you pay? You know, what's the final verdict that you guys have?
I've heard a lot of people complain about the price of the game, and I think in other parts of the world it might be more expensive. We all paid $40, right?
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
yep.
$40 in the US.
Now there's a special edition, which again is pure cosmetic, and you'd have to be a moron to buy that. But that one's way overpriced. But the $40 version, I definitely feel like I've gotten $40 for fun out of this game.
Oh, absolutely.
I think the
Well,
$60
yeah,
one also gives you stuff in other Blizzard games. Like it gives you something in WoW, and it gives you some stuff maybe in StarCraft, other things like that. It's all cosmetic. You're right. I mean,
In terms of value, it definitely stands up. I mean, I'm probably going to play way more of it. And just on our stream, we've played how many hours of it? You know, that was probably worth it. And it's all been fun. It's a great game in terms of quick. You can play it quickly. You don't have to commit to anything. You can jump in and out. And so you don't have to set aside a lot of time. Although some people might set aside half of their life to play it.
Not me. I would never do such a reckless thing.
And I think the $40 price tag is pretty much spot on. It is multiplayer only. You can practice, there's a training mode and all that, but really multiplayer is the only way you're going to want to play this game. And 60 for that might seem a little high, but I think 40 is pretty much a sweet spot.
I think it really is worth probably about 30-40 bucks. 60 bucks is definitely way too much. Even if you're like a super Blizzard fan and you have all the other Blizzard games and you're getting all the other stuff, even that 60's too much. It is a lot of fun. It's a good time killer. It's a good sort of casual game. You know, again, we're not hardcore. We're not like super. I mean, I'm level 25. I don't really have a lot of time for games. But this is a game where it's like, okay, I've got 15 minutes to kill, or I've got 2 hours to kill. There's something here in either one of those scenarios.
It's friendly to everybody. And if you really, really want to get good and be awesome, there's a competitive mode too.
And esports, I don't know how much it's taken off yet, but you know, Blizzard has certainly thrown plenty of advertising dollars behind this game, and there's definitely going to be a professional scene.
Oh, it's already there. It's definitely already there. If you want to see some really great gameplay, look up competitive Overwatch.
So the other question with Overwatch is, will it run on your computer? Well, this isn't that kind of a review, but I've been impressed with how little equipment is needed to run Overwatch. It's basically run pretty smooth, even on older equipment. It runs okay on my Surface Book if I turn down the graphics, and it's the one that's got the NVIDIA GPU if I turn down the graphics and run it at the lower resolution.
Yeah, I think between the three of us, we played this on 6 or 7 different computers, right?
Yep.
We've done our stream computers, our home computers, and Windows probably played on, like you said, the Surface. And I've never experienced any problems with it. It's always run pretty smooth. It always looks pretty good. The graphical style is kind of cartoony, but it's definitely pretty.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, it's not super simple, but not bad either. And I'd run it usually on medium on my other machine, and I have no issues with it. The only thing I've ever noticed is sometimes, like, the guns take a second to load in.
It's
But
definitely
that's not game-breaking at all.
It's definitely super detailed, and the animations are amazing.
Yeah, even just little things like Tracer's eye movements, the rapid eye movements there, capturing that programmatically is sort of interesting that Blizzard went to put that level of detail in everything, and everything in the game is like that, and that it performs as well as it does on modest hardware is another testament to the fact that I think Blizzard has done their market research, and they know that a lot of casual, quote-unquote casual people will be playing this, and they're not necessarily going to have a top-end system to do it. So it seems to fulfill its purpose in that regard.
In fact, as a testament to that, we have our very own Filthy Casual, who has transmorphed into a beautiful pro gamer butterfly based on this game.
Just this game, though.
How many hours so far?
I'd have to look at my profile. I want to say probably like 50 or 60. It's bad.
Wow.
I have a problem.
Have you played
Well-
any other game that much this year?
No, I was kind of bummed. I hadn't seen a lot of games I was real interested in for a while, and I was like, oh, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's just a dry spell, but this game has really captured me for whatever reason.
And you've never played Team Fortress. Have you played another class-based multiplayer shooter?
Not really, no. So this is like a first for me, which is probably why. Like, I liked Battleborn too, but Battleborn just had the matchmaking issues, so this really improves on everything that Battleborn was trying to do.
Well, there you have it. There's an Overwatch review from 3 decidedly non-professional gamers. You know, we don't game professionally. We don't spend 16 hours a day gaming, But, you know, a lot of you noticed that we play Overwatch and wrote in to be like, hey, why don't you guys do a review? So we said, screw it, whatever. You know, the Portland office is on fire or whatever, and, you know, there's no WAS right now, so we figured, screw it, why not?
We'll do it.
Yeah, let us know what you think. And special thanks to Grizzle and Krista for helping me out, because they've got more time clocked in this thing than I do. And we've really had a lot of fun playing together. So let us know what you think. We're sort of going out on a limb here. Let us know what you think in the comments. We'll see you on the forums. Ask us questions. I don't know. Maybe we can group up and play some Overwatch together. I don't know, whatever. Whatever you want to do. Sounds good to me. I'm Wendell, I'm signing out, and I'll see you later. Well, and if you're still watching, even after all of that, do you want to see another game review? We could probably do Stellaris or... I don't know,
Factorio.
Factorio, yeah. You guys think of anything else?
Maybe Battleborn to do the other side, because we love Stellaris and Factorio. We don't love Battleborn.
Battleborn, the game is, but it's just so frustrating. Like, it's like the bully, where it's like, you know, the bully's got you down, and now he's just smothering your face in the dirt. Like, there's no need for this. You've already lost. Why is it smothering your face in the dirt? This is just really bad. That's Battleborn.
Yeah, exactly.
I have not experienced that with Overwatch for sure. All right, well, see you guys later, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.